In a world obsessed with vertical leap, wingspan, and 40-yard dash times, there's something rare, something unteachable, that separates the good from the legendary. Basketball IQ. It's not the stat that makes headlines. It's not measured in inches or seconds, but it wins games, changes series, creates dynasties. From LeBron's memory recall of every play, to Chris Paul turning rules into weapons, to Steph Curry manipulating defenders without touching the ball. These aren't highlights. These are mental masterpieces. Welcome to the NBA's greatest high IQ moments, where genius isn't just rare, it's game-changing. Veteran chess masters, controlling the board. Chris Paul doesn't just call plays, he predicts them. He slows down the tempo, draws fouls from nothing, and finds passing angles invisible to others. In one instance, he noticed a defender's shoe was untied and intentionally stalled until the ref blew the whistle. Momentum? Stopped. Points? Secured. LeBron James has one of the sharpest minds in NBA history. He once recalled, verbatim, an entire fourth-quarter sequence in a post-game interview. Not just his plays, but the opponents. This mental footage plays in his head like film, frame by frame. And Rondo doesn't just fake out defenders. He fakes out entire teams. In one game, he faked a timeout. Defenders stopped, he didn't. Free layup, checkmate. Even late in his career, LeBron adjusts his defensive positioning based on opposing teams' most subtle tendencies. If a player habitually passes left, he shades right. If an inbounder looks off balance, he anticipates the lob. He doesn't guess. He knows. Split-second genius. The game slows down. Manu Ginobili, in one of the most bizarre NBA moments, casually swatted a bat out of the air. During live play. While others hesitated, Manu acted. That wasn't reflex alone. That was elite focus. Larry Bird walked into the locker room before the 1986 three-point contest, looked around, and asked, "Which one of y'all is finishing second?" He won, while still in his warm-up jacket, and walked off with his finger raised before the final ball even landed. Kyle Lowry in the 2019 finals stood near the baseline as if confused. The defense relaxed. Boom, a lob to Siakam. Easy two. It took one glance, 1 second, one IQ move. And there's Tony Parker, who once drove into the paint, drew 3 defenders, then, midair, wrapped a behind-the-back pass through traffic to a cutting teammate. It wasn't luck. It was studied, drilled, and deployed at the perfect moment. Rulebook exploits, knowing the game better than the ref. There are players who play within the rules, and then there are players who play with the rules. Draymond Green understands the rulebook like a lawyer. Once, he deliberately stepped out of bounds to screen a defender. A technical violation, but undetectable mid-play. He knew exactly what he could get away with, and did. Luka Doncic, falling out of bounds, tapped the ball off an opponent's back, saved the possession, and hit a 3 seconds later. It wasn't flashy. It was cerebral. Then there's Dwyane Wade, who once pump-faked after the whistle just to bait a defender into a foul. He didn't get the call, but next time, the defender didn't jump. That's next-level thinking. Elite players know how to stretch the rules like elastic, and when they do, it's not cheating, it's mastery. Time manipulators. Clock IQ is real. Clock management is where minds shine. Some players use intentional fouls to disrupt the opponent's rhythm, fouling just before a shooting motion begins, saving precious points. Others, like Chris Paul, are legendary for using end-of-quarter scenarios to bait defenders into unnecessary contact, giving him 3 free throws as the buzzer sounds. Even fake 2-for-1s, shooting early to try to gain an extra possession, are used by smarter teams to outpace slower ones. The rise of the young geniuses. The new era is different. These players aren't just talented, they're educated. Tyrese Halliburton has mastered the pick and roll like a PhD student. His assist-to-turnover ratio is elite. His decision-making under pressure? Flawless. And he's only just beginning. Victor Wembanyama is a defensive alien, but it's not his height that shocks coaches. It's his timing. He knows when to help, when to stay, when to rotate, all without being coached every moment. Scotty Barnes doesn't guess. He knows. He reads the second pass ahead, not just the one in front of him. That's the kind of IQ that doesn't teach, it grows. Jalen Williams in OKC's system has been praised for his defensive reads and help timing. Not common for a player barely out of college. The future of basketball isn't just bigger and faster, it's smarter. Off-ball savants, the invisible genius. Off-ball movement is an invisible art, and the smartest players make you feel them, even when they're not touching the ball. Stephen Curry is the ultimate gravity force. Just his movement causes defenders to panic. They chase him without knowing where he's going, opening up clean looks for teammates miles away. Rip Hamilton was a mid-range machine, but his real genius? Relocation. He never stopped moving, making defenders tired and confused. Reggie Miller, with a flick of the eye and a step back, created enough space to win playoff games. Bruce Bowen wasn't a flashy scorer, but defensively, he repositioned without notice, showing and recovering, baiting passes, reading second options. Genius doesn't always hold the ball. Sometimes it dances in the shadows. Defensive IQ, turning offense into mistakes. Great defenders don't react, they predict. Marcus Smart is a master of baiting guards. He'll fake slow feet, only to leap in front for a steal. Kawhi Leonard is silent, but deadly. He doesn't chase the ball, he waits for it to arrive. His massive hands are weapons, but his mind is sharper. Even Draymond Green, again, stands out. His help defense awareness, floor communication, and trap timing disrupt plays before they begin. Andre Iguodala, too, was Finals MVP, not because he scored, but because he contained LeBron. He studied tape, shadowed movement, cut off drives before they started. True defensive brilliance isn't reactive, it's preemptive. The smartest game on earth. We love basketball for the passion, the pace, the power, but its deepest beauty lies in the thinking. A smart pass, a baited foul, a no-look screen, a perfectly timed switch. Basketball IQ isn't always noticed. It's whispered in rotations, in glances, in decisions no one else sees. But when you slow the game down and study the moves behind the moves, you begin to see it. This isn't just sport, it's intellect in motion. Because in the NBA, the highest flyer doesn't always win. The strongest player doesn't always dominate. But the smartest one, he always finds a way.